Go.
Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We're in our 26th year, and we're going to take your calls all morning long at 1-800-248-539-9797. I'm Harvey Freed. He's Harry Glantz.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Harvey. Thanks to Paul for that, the lead-in music, which is always the best part of my day, Paul. Thank you very much. Cold outside. We're going to talk to our realtor friend, Noel Heideman. He's on our show along with John Kolb. But the thing that we want to impress everybody, even though it's really cold outside, and we all know that because it's obvious, people are still out there looking, buying, and actively pursuing real estate. And Harvey, I'll let you introduce Noel, but Noel and I are going to go over some numbers because we like to nerd out with the numbers, right, Noel? But
right.
Anyways, Harvey, go ahead with the intro.
Yeah, Noel from, of course, At Properties, Christie's International. So it's great. You guys have been expanding those offices, and you've been around real estate for a long time. Are you coming up on 30 years or more?
33 years.
33 years, all right, fantastic.
Look at his hair's as gray as mine. He's been around a long time. I mean,
and of course,
that's what's going on. And we have John Kolb, our top originator in the United States, with us as well. So, Noel, let me say this to you. And you and I like to nerd out on the numbers, and that's all we do. We go on and we research, and we wake up early, we go to bed late, we research the numbers, and we want to talk about our area specifically, Woodward Corridor, Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, Washington, Livingston County. But we did some research, and people think that just because it's cold outside, that they have to wait till spring to go ahead and buy a house. Well, number one, we know that's not true. January is a very busy month. February is starting out with a lot of purchase agreements and things of that nature. People are finally getting smart. They're not waiting for rates to come down because they're just not going to come down as fast as everybody wants. Go over the numbers that you found out for the show this morning.
Good morning, everybody. I live in Beverly Hills, so I keep an eye on that. And, people ask me, how's the real estate market? And I would reply to that I love what I do. The real estate market is incredible, with the people that we get to work with and the transactions that we do. So currently, right now, in Beverly Hills, where I live, the village of Beverly Hills, there are 11 active properties between 287,500 and basically 1.5 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Last year, the entire year, in Beverly Hills, there was 138 homes that sold. Okay. So highest price house that sold in Beverly Hills last year was $2.375 million.
Wow.
Okay. So to date, in 2026, we've had 15 sold properties, okay, as of this morning, and we have 5 that are pending right now. So if you do the numbers on that, based on, 15 that have sold in the first 40 days of the year, Beverly Hills is, doing pretty well.
Right, somewhere between 160 and 180 if you kept track, if you go all year.
Based on last year.
Right, so definitely.
And we're only in January.
It's a house every 3 days, roughly.
Yeah, so that's how active the market is in a small sample size. If you take a larger sample size, and let's just talk about Oakland County area, the Woodward Corridor, from 8 Mile all the way up through, let's say, to Pontiac, along Woodward. So you have communities like Ferndale, Pleasant Ridge, Royal Oak, Berkeley, Huntington Woods,
Clawson, Hazel Park. Let me help you out.
Well, that's not the Woodward Corridor, but you got Birmingham, you've got Bloomfield Hills, and Beverly Hills. So if you take a look at that and you want to go up there, how about this? 5 homes listed right now currently in Huntington Woods, anywhere from $395 to $850. 6 homes in Pleasant Ridge. Okay, you've got 13 homes, and Noel said 11. He corrected me. In Beverly Hills, from 288 to 1.5. You can find in Ferndale. You've got homes that go anywhere from, say, high 100s all the way up to, I could show you one in Bloomfield Hills for $7 million. But the point of the matter is that we're trying to give you is that it's a very, very active market in all price ranges.
Absolutely. From
the lowest price range, whatever you can afford, to the highest price range. It's active out there. So if you're waiting till spring, which, hey, we're all waiting till spring because it's 8 degrees out right now. If you're waiting in real estate, it's not such a great move if you can find a property that you want, John.
Yeah, I just talked to a family the other day, and they have a 5-year-old, and they are looking to sell their house and buy a new house, and they're thinking that they were going to wait until April. And both the realtor and I said at different times, didn't even talk about this when talking to the client, that why wait? You've got a 5-year-old that you don't have to worry about jumping out of school. and you've got a house that you could sell right now that's a beautiful home and it'll probably fly off the market, you might as well get your house on the market when there's less competition on houses to sell, and also get in the market to look for a new home when you have less competition of buyers out there. It's a great time to begin all of that.
That's right. Yeah.
People are settling in definitely to the idea that they're going to maybe step up. Now, also settling into these newer interest rates. Again, we're talking last year above 7% for many families, and now they've settled down in the 6s, maybe the high 5s if you pay a point or something like that.
Southeastern Michigan, excuse me.
No, you're good.
Southeastern Michigan, too. If you look over the last 25, 30 years, however long you want to look, the appreciation is continued to rise. So what homes are worth right now, February 7th, that's going to change, when you get to the springtime. Plus, how many other people think the same way you do? I say this all the time, but if I had a nickel for as many people that talk about waiting till spring, or, everybody does. So you have that much more competition. So if there is something out there right now, maybe a seller has had their home on the market for 45, 60 days. Maybe they're a little bit more motivated than you think they are. You never know, but there are incredible value out there right now.
Yeah, we just went over it. I mean, you can buy houses in the hundreds to the millions, and you find that value. And you find that value when you call somebody and you talk about it, what you can afford. If you're out there looking for homes and you don't know what you can afford, that's a big mistake. That's backwards. Get with your financial advisor, CPA. If you don't have one, give us a call, 1-800-LOW-RATE, Capital Mortgage Funding, the best mortgage banker. We will go over the numbers for you, and it's free. You don't give us any money, John Kolb. Why would somebody go out? Why would they call Noel first without? And you think Noel's going to take them out without knowing what they're qualified for?
And why don't we take any money? I feel like we should.
No,
we give so much
I can't
advice.
Do that.
I'm
I can't
kidding.
do it.
Well, the theme for 2026, John, definitely that buyer's edge is out there, full buyer's market. But there is these opportunities right now with just a little bit less competition. Again, new Fed chairman coming in. I don't know if that's going to affect the interest rates. We'll get into other things that might affect mortgage rates. Again, the job market has been a little shaky too over the winter time. So I think now is the time. All right, continuing with the inventory, John Kolb, 10 to 20% year over year increase here. New listings surged about 30%, giving some opportunities out there. Again, shoppers have more options than they've had in years. Now is that magic opportunity. It's cold. If you're out there now looking for a house, you're ready
serious.
to go. You're definitely a serious buyer. All right, we take your calls, 248-539-9797. All right, let's talk a little bit, too, about appreciation. This isn't the pandemic anymore. This isn't the market where you're probably going to buy and it's going to go up 10% every year. Now, we're going to see those pockets. Here we talked about the inventory off the Woodward Corridor, Pleasant Ridge, your Huntington Woods, your Birmingham's, Bloomfield, and again, let's go to the other cities too. There's some hot cities all across the 5 counties that we're pretty much talking to, whether you're in Genesee or Livingston. There's still appreciation there. You might get 5 to 10%, but also it seems, John, that maybe it's closer to 2 to 5% appreciation year after year. That's not a bad bang for your buck.
No, I mean, if you don't buy, what's your alternative, right? You live in your mom's basement. I don't know, or you rent, right? And if you're renting, then you're giving the appreciation to someone else and also paying down their mortgage for them. We talk about this all the time. So yes, absolutely, any appreciation is better than stagnant or declining. And so yeah, why wouldn't you get in there, get yourself an asset that's going to appreciate even at 2%, 5%? In some years it's been 10%. And make sure that you're gaining that equity. That's, it's proven. That's how you build wealth.
Well, there are so many home buying programs now for first-time home buyers, even trade-up buyers right now. And Harvey has all the information, all the programs. We have the Mr. program. We have a Chinoa program. You have so many community programs out there that communities will give you money. How about that? I said on the radio, give you money to buy a house, to make you a homeowner. Because let's face it, investors are coming in and they're buying up properties because people want to go ahead and they're looking at their portfolio and how there are a lot of different ways people can make money with money.
Right.
The tried and true way is through real estate. Right. That is the tried and true way. That it always appreciates. Now, it's a long-term play. Now, there are a lot of property flippers out there, and you guys, kudos, you want to fix them up and flip them. That's up to you. But if you're talking about buying a home and creating wealth, generational wealth, and that's in the real estate market, Noel.
Yeah. Modest appreciation is really good because you're generally speaking, Noel, $250,000 really nice starter homes. Yeah. And again, if you're making 3 to 5% appreciation, like you said, a roof over your head, You're not just giving it away to a landlord. That's a lot better bet than the crypto market. I'll tell you that. That's like getting crushed at 35% depreciation in that market. So as Harry talked about, the wealth starts with real estate. It's a proven fact. All the numbers are out there.
And it's interesting too. We talked about a program actually this week that, it's not for first-time buyers per se, but it's for people that have younger children. If you have kids under the age of 5, maybe your grandparents, and looking at purchasing a home. If you think about this, if you do a 15-year loan, and you guys know a lot more about that than I do, you can start generational wealth for your children, for your grandchildren, by making an investment, into a home, and they can have that, and that home could be paid off in 15 years or 20 years. And when that home is paid off, well, if they want it at the end of the 20 years, great. If they don't, then you've got that much, equity.
You're definitely
into an
passing it
investment that you made, 20 years prior or 15 years prior. So
have that situation going on now where the family lived in Grosse Pointe forever, and boy, oh boy, what the folks probably bought the house for, 150, 200,000. You want to go back 30, 40 years. Now they're at $800,000 value on these homes. Now one of the children moved into the home. Children now, of course, they're in midlife. Just a ton of equity in the home. And again, and to live in a great community, whether it be Grosse Pointe or Birmingham, wherever it might be, it's just it's the way to start generational wealth.
That's why you need a real estate professional. You need a professional financial people like yourselves, capital mortgage funding, to make these decisions, to look in, particular areas, for investment. There's great value everywhere. It's just a matter of what you're looking for and where. And when, but there's value everywhere.
I mean, in all your years of doing real estate, Noel, if you take out the years from 2009 to 2012, isn't it? Yeah, right. Well, let's forget about those years. Isn't it pretty much a given that anytime someone has sold a home, they've at least sold it for at least $1 more than they bought it for?
Yeah. I have not had an experience, thankfully, that short of those years that
all right, guys,
they have made money.
Noel, we're cruising through already the first segment here, man. Welcome back. It's
Thank
always
you.
great
Yeah,
to
it's
see
been a
you
bit.
here.
Been a minute.
Oh, we've been selling real estate for like 30 years plus, as we mentioned. Hey, we're going to take
we
your
pulled
calls.
them out of the retirement home today.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have a super show for you.
You
I
had to go
can't say
pick
those
'em up.
other things. Give us a call, 248-539-9797. It's a Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. We'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back to the show. We are brought to you by Capital Mortgage Fund, and you can call us all week, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker, powered by CMG Home Loans, NMLS 1820, equal housing lender in all 50 states. So if you're thinking about buying that home anywhere in the country where it might be a little warmer, definitely give us a call. And again, as we mention all the time, having great conversations sooner than later. You can get a strong approval letter. We don't take money up front to have the experts talk to you. And everyone at the office is generally close to 20 to 30, even up to 40 years of experience. And getting that confidence, John, is a home buyer, whether you're a first-time home buyer that we want to really motivate to get them out there, or a second-time or a step-up buyer. It's really exciting. And if you got that confidence, now you're willing to overbid on a house a little bit. If there's one of those great houses out there and you're thinking about, maybe taking a step up and offering a little bit more so your offer is accepted, that's what you want to do, is definitely get that confidence behind you so you can move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if my favorite person to work with is a first-time home buyer or the repeat clients that you call back. And like we were just talking about at break, you can catch up in like 5 seconds. When you have that good client that you've done over and over and over again, you catch up in about five seconds. It's like you never missed a beat. Yeah. You're back at it, and everybody's happy to get everything done. And it's a joy to work with people like that who have a positive attitude, and you give a positive attitude back for them and try to put them in the right position. And you know what? The good thing about our company is that I'll get on the phone and be like, it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to do something right now. And I always tell people I get paid to do mortgages, but if it doesn't make sense for you to do it, if I wouldn't do it for myself, my brother, my sister, my parents, I'm going to tell you that it's not worth it. And someone called up and said, "Hey, I heard rates are down. Reba McEntire told me that rates are down." Everyone,
must be true.
And geez, okay. I'm glad you're calling because Reba's on TV.
She's great on The Voice.
Oh yeah, she's great on Realtor.com. Jeez. Oh God. Anyway, so yeah, they call and it's like, hey, yeah, we could probably get you $25-$30 a month savings, but it's not worth it.
So there are things like that,
$3,000 in costs.
Real life stories. And we have clients call us all the time. Last week, I had a client call and she listened to the show. She's been listening to this show for a very, very long time. She said, "Listen, what do you think?" And she had a mortgage at a low rate, and it was a substantial property. And her mortgage rate was very low. The balance was very low, and she wanted to take out a home equity loan because she has some student loans and things of that nature. And I told her, I said, "Listen," I said, "it does not make sense for you to refinance your mortgage because the payment will go up substantially. We can put you into a home equity loan." Now, I would never. Other places will tell her to refinance the whole thing and make her payment go up substantially. That's not the way we work. Converse to that is that I had a client call up. They had $2,000 a month in credit card debt, but they were hanging on to a 4 3/4 30-year fixed rate. I said, "So you're going to hang on to a 4 3/4 30-year fixed rate, but you're going to pay $2,000 a month in credit card debt at 18 to 22% when we could wipe that out for you and save you the $2,000 a month. And you're going to save in total net $2,000. You'll put that in your pocket." So I guess what I'm saying is it all depends on the math. It all depends on the situation. And if you're going to get the right advice from somebody, you don't need to pay for it. Other people will swipe your credit card. They'll take everything from you. They'll make you pay a deposit. That's not what John Kolb does.
No, and I was going to say, and I've got a flip side story to your story as well. We may tell people that it's not worth it to do it. But on the other hand, I had a buddy call me, and I don't think he'll mind me sharing this story. He wants to do a big renovation to his home. And I've currently got him at 2.875 on a 20-year fixed. He's got 15 years left, right? Great rate, great program, great payment, everything. Well, he was going to take a home equity line of credit out for the $100,000 to $150,000 renovation he was going to do. And I said, "What are you doing?" "No, that payment's going to be out of this world." I said, "Let's look at," and his other alternative was pulling money out of his retirement account.
Ooh, I don't like that one.
No. So I said, let's look at something a little bit different. How much longer are you going to be in this house? You've got 3 kids that'll be in college in 4 years. And you've got this big old house. How much longer are you going to be there? I don't know, maybe 10 years. Okay, great. You got 15 years left on your 20-year fixed. You're going to be out of this home in 10 years. So you're really never going to pay it off. So that 20-year fixed doesn't mean anything to you anymore.
Right.
So let's look at taking the money out of the first mortgage. Yes, you're going to go from 2.875 up to 6%. Okay? But I can keep your payment the same as what it is right now, plus the little home equity line that you have right now. I can keep the payment the same, put $150,000 in your hand. You can do the renovation, and you didn't touch your retirement account. Yes, you're going back to a 30-year fixed. You're going backwards in term. But it doesn't matter. You're not going to have the house paid off in the 10 years that you're going to be out of it anyways. And I don't want you touching your retirement money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Johnny, he can always, if he wants to, add money.
Add
to
extra, of
add
course.
money and turn that 30 back into a 20 or a 15.
But we figured a way to keep his payment the same as where it is right now.
Yeah.
And get him the $150 to do the renovations without touching his retirement account. Because he would have paid a 40% tax on that pulling that retirement money out. And that doesn't make any sense.
This is the microcosm of, I think, of real estate. When people ask me, well, how's the market? How's this? How's that? Well, it depends on, number one, where you are, who you are, what you're doing, what part of the market are you in? Are you buying? Are you selling? This is a microcosm of why you need to talk to professionals. You've got to look at the entire picture, from end to start, not start to finish necessarily. And where do you want to be? John had a great example there. This guy's got 5 years left in his house, and he's got a 15-year. He's never going to see the end of this term. So what's good now? And that's why you have professionals like Capital Mortgage Funding and myself, to talk about these things and to kind of walk you through this. So today or right now might be a good time. It might not. You don't know until you really, kind of exhaust all your options.
The other thing is, if you're going to put a big $100 to $150,000, $200,000 renovation, you better reach out to your realtor.
Exactly.
You better reach out and make sure, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Does my house warrant it?
Yeah, give me a home market report, and that's not a comparative market analysis.
Yeah, I think the value of that conversation, and the answer is for each individual person is it depends. It always depends. It depends on your financial situation,
Correct.
Not your brother-in-laws, sister-in-laws, anybody else in your family or your friends. They don't know your personal financial situation. They're telling you what to do when they don't really know. And why would you call them?
Right.
I mean, you have to talk to somebody and do the math. We're all about saving you money, preserving your money and saving you money. And that's the only thing that you should be cognizant and aware of.
And being smart. Being smart with your money. You can't be stupid with your money, because if you're stupid with your money, who's looking out for you?
Yeah.
Right. If you have the means, renovation is awesome. It's great. And we talked about this. We brought it up last week. Older lake homes and families are going to knock down walls. Well, again, sure enough, I ran down the street, my old street, and my friend who's redoing a house. It was all about a renovation loan. He bought an old ranch, but once he started tearing it all up, oh boy, those floor joints were rotted. The crawl space was from, I think 1952. I called him up. I go, is your house gone? It's gone. He ended up knocking the whole thing down. He's got a full-blown new construction purchase, and he's going to build it the way he wants it. And also, it's going to have tons of value. He's not using the old stuff. So he's got a new build going on now, and congratulations to Jason. He listens once in a while out there, but on Sylvan and Otter Lake, I mean, I can't wait to see what he's going to end up building over there. And it's a lot of fun here. You've got a lot of guys your age, and their grandkids are coming into the mix. They want to leave something. They want to leave something and have some great family experiences there. And that's what it's all about, too, enjoying life.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that. And Noel, I will ask you this question. I believe in a lifestyle. If people are going to be in their house for a while, whatever they do to their property to make it convenient and nice and easy for them, I feel just go ahead and do it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Now, you have to be prudent about it. If you think you're going to move in 5 years, you don't want to do that because you're not going to be there enough time to enjoy it.
Right.
Now, if you're going to be there long term and you want to go ahead and, we always talk about it, put those brick pavers, Harvey, that everybody thinks there, or build that batting cage in the backyard, or do the golf simulator out there. And I'm just saying all these things, the patio, everything. You want to go ahead and do that, build the cave downstairs. Go ahead and do that. You might not get the value out of it, but who cares if you're going to be there, and it's your quality of life that matters.
Everybody
live the life now.
Yeah. Everybody wants to make a lot of money from the sale of their home. There's no doubt about it. But when you break it all down, and again, you kind of think about it, you make the improvements to your home that you want to make because you live there. I talk to people all the time about, if you have a, say, $300,000 home, you're not going to put $50,000 appliances in there. You're not going to go get a an AGA, for example, which is a European stove, you're not going to put that in a $200,000
There's
house.
a new one,
You're not.
everybody. There's a new one, an AGA.
There you go.
There you go. No, he's so sophisticated living in Beverly Hills.
Well,
He meant to say agua. He just misspelled it.
My parents are they have one. So, but anyways, the long story short is basically you're not going to over improve something. You talk to people about that kind of stuff. But yeah, when it comes down to picking granite versus Formica versus whatever, you do what you want to do because you live there. But if you're concerned about it, I would call myself or a real estate professional to see what the value is in your neighborhood and, based on the improvements that you want to make and where does that put you and what is your goal? Where are you going to be in 5 years and 3 years? What is the purpose of doing these improvements like John talked about with his friend and, doing a renovation? Where are you going to be in a few years? So there's a lot of questions to ask when it comes to things like
Well, if I know Noel's father, he's going to get buried in that aga.
Hey, look, Southeast Michigan, the real estate market in early 26 is being described as a great reset. The frantic bidding wars of previous years have cooled off a little bit. Now is your time to purchase a house. Give us a call. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Hey, when we come back, we dive deeper into debt consolidation. Hey, you want to buy that vacation home, maybe in another state? We'll talk about that too. 248-539-9797. Keep it here. Alrighty, we're back. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. We take your calls. 248-539-9797. Noel Heideman joins us from At Properties, Christie's International. John Kolb, Harry Glanz. I'm Harvey Free. Let's go off to our call in Detroit. John is calling in. Hey, good morning, John. What's your question?
Good morning. How you doing?
Real
Good morning.
Good, John.
Good. I'm trying to figure out if I should pay off my mortgage or just keep making payments.
What's the balance, my man?
Balance is about $67,000.
And what's the property worth?
$600,000,
Okay. And what's your interest rate?
less than 3.
Yeah. So my question is this: if that you really have an investment that's doing less than 3%, if you take that cash that you would pay it, can't you invest it somewhere? I mean, first of all, I will say that it's always a good idea if it makes you feel good. You want to lay your head down on your pillow at night and not have a mortgage. I'll say that, and I'm a mortgage guy. All right. However, could you take that $60,000 and put it in the market and get a better than a 3% return? If the answer, if the answer is yes, maybe you should think about that. But you should also consider what's good for your own head, and when you lay your head on your pillow, if you feel good about paying it off and you're done with it, fine. Now, however, if you can make more money taking that $60,000 and putting it in the market or investing it at a higher than a 3% return, you might want to take a look at that.
I'm going to elaborate a little bit, John, on what Harry just said. What's the term of your loan?
15 years.
So how many years
and
do you
how
have
far
left?
along are you into it?
Yeah.
Halfway.
All right. So if you look at your 1098 statement that you got from your mortgage company, that'll tell you what you paid in interest over the life of the past year. Divide that by 12.
Right.
That's what you paid in interest on a monthly basis, and it's only going to keep going down.
Yeah, you're down
So your
now.
interest rate doesn't even matter anymore. You could have told us you were at a 7% interest rate, and it probably still wouldn't make any difference because the amount of interest that you're paying on your loan is so nominal to the principal because now you're in that portion of that 15-year where you're paying more and more and more towards principal because the mortgage company takes all their interest on the front end and then they wait to get you all the principal on the back end. So you could look at it and say, like for me, I'm in a 10-year on my personal home. I looked at my interest. It was less than $100 a month that I was paying in interest on my home in the end of my term, right?
You set up that auto pay and let it go.
So I'm in the same situation as you. Should I pay off the $50,000, $60,000 balance on my home? No, because I'm paying less than $1,200 a year in interest. And I like Harry said, I can invest that money and make more than $1,200 that I'm losing. So, look at all those factors. But what Harry told you, spot on. And just another way to look at it is like, how much interest are you paying on a monthly basis? Look at your statement, and you'll see how small it is, and it's just not worth it.
And let me say this to you also: the current value that you have holding that cash in your account or wherever it is. It's worth more now to you than in the future if you paid it off. I would tell you this. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't pay it off. You're already done paying the interest on it. You're into the principal now. I would keep making the payment, and I would take that money and I would find a safe investment that you can make more than the 3%. Now, again, I have to give you a caveat. If it makes you feel good and you want to pay it off and you want to walk around with zero balance, that's cool too. I'm all for that too. But I would tell you, financially speaking, you can make more with that money than paying it off.
Outstanding stuff. Thanks, John. Thanks for the call, man. That's great stuff.
Yeah, thank you for the call. We appreciate it. And I'm sure whatever you do, you're still in good shape. It doesn't matter. You're halfway done paying off a mortgage.
That's what we do here. We take your calls at 248-539-9797. Give good advice out there. And now that could help someone else who might be listening, driving. Keep two hands on the wheel. Gorgeous day as the sun's shining. A bit cold here in Southeast Michigan, but we're all used to it. It's no big deal. And we're going to take your calls all morning long here on the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. We brought some numbers in like we always do. Median sales price across the state of Michigan, $267. Boy, that's only going to go up. Well, it's been going up at 4.6%. So real close to 5% appreciation. And if you can keep that money in your investments, you'll probably do a lot better. Inventory up. Let's go back, Noel, and talk about some homes out there. Inventory is up across the state, 15%. Again, we always focus here in the Tri-County or maybe the 6 counties that are surrounding us. But this is going across the state. You could be up in Traverse City, Emmet County, Calhoun. I don't care where you're at. There's definitely appreciation, including Monroe. You name the county, generally there's 4 to 6% appreciation across the state.
Yeah, that's usually about 3 to 5 or so. I would say back to John, the caller, too. Give me a call, John. we can talk about, what the value is of your home. And, again, knowledge is power. The more information you have, whether you decide to pull that, like talking to John, and or continue to make the payments and not pay that off, there's so many different avenues to go down. It just depends on what is your goal.
Yeah, but no, that is, what's the goal and what's the objective?
Yeah.
And what he did was he picked up the phone and he made a phone call.
Right, smart.
It didn't cost him anything.
Exactly.
It cost him 15 minutes in time.
Yep.
And now maybe he has a better direction. Maybe he probably already thought about all those things. But if you need that reinforcement, you got to go to people that know. He's building a team. He called. And, if whatever he does is got to be good for him. Because,
Knowledge is
again,
power.
it's his own individual set of circumstances. He might write that check and pay it off.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
He may be of retirement age, get a required minimum draw, and his accountant says just pay off your mortgage with it. We always talk about utilizing your team, right?
Yeah.
Mortgage, real estate, financial advisor, accountant,
Legal, medical.
right? Everything. Get with your team and figure out and brainstorm. And I always tell people, if you want me to do a call with your accountant or you want me to do a call with your financial advisor just so that we can all be on the same call and brainstorm together, I'm happy to do so.
Have a clear picture.
Right.
Life is a
Make
big
smart
pie.
decisions.
I like this. Life is like a big pie, and you just slice it up any way you want. But you get these professionals in there, and like you said, the knowledge is just the king of it all.
You guys, I heard something too, which, again, being in this business as long as I have, just blows me away. But the average first-time buyer age, I know you guys know what this is, 40.
What?
40.
I thought it was
That
lower.
seems high.
Is the average first-time buyer's age.
No, that's true. Well, yeah. We knew that. We talked about that all the time. Now, because people are buying houses later.
Yeah.
And listen, I could tell you, and we can all say this, the income has not kept up with the prices of goods and services, right? Goods and services have gone up tenfold in the last 30 years, 38 years last time I checked.
Yeah.
Income hasn't gone up tenfold.
Correct.
So therefore, people are pushing out the time that they're buying a home. So people, listen, I bought my first house, I was 32 or 33?
Wait, no, you're younger than that, weren't you?
No, let me say, how old was I? I don't know. I think I was 32.
That was,
like-
that was at least 55 years ago.
I apologize. I was 30. I was
Okay,
30 years old,
interesting.
right? People are waiting. They're renting longer. It takes, people think it takes a lot of money. It doesn't.
No.
It just depends on where you want to go. You got to do the math, but that's not a surprise. We talked about it. There was a time when we thought, John, millennials were going to live in their parents' basement forever, and people weren't going to buy houses, or everybody was going to go ahead and pool their money, and they would go from their college dorm to all living together in a house. Look, that's not going to happen.
I think some of the
hasn't
neatest thing that you can actually go back and look at it. I mean, this is kind of geeking out, but look at different generations and what happens, and who buys and who doesn't, secondary homes, things like that. It's pretty wild to really think about it. But yeah, the market, again, it depends on what market you're in. But everything has been very positive. And 2026 looks like it's going to be an incredible year too. So
It will be. I think the market, and people want to talk about. I look at all these experts, and again, I was at a seminar in Houston this past week. There were two really good speakers, I thought. Then there were, in my opinion, the same old speakers that you hear. And everybody wants to predict what interest rates are going to be. I don't like that. I don't like it when people make predictions and then they go ahead and impart that into the public.
I'm not that smart.
And say, well, rates are going to go down. Rates are going to go down. Rates are going to go down. When people hear rates are going to continuously go down, then they sit there and they wait for them to go down.
Right.
Wrong.
Right.
All right. I could tell you this, that if and when rates go down, great. That's the bonus. But you got to get in the game first.
Yeah.
You got to buy that house, or you have to, Harvey wants to talk about it, and I think it's a great subject. You got to pay off that debt.
Yeah.
Pay your debt off. All right. On credit card debt. The only deduction you have now is mortgage interest and the taxes, property taxes that go along with it. All right. Credit card interest at 18 to 22, that's not tax deductible. Your car loan, not tax deductible. So you need to go ahead and you need to utilize the resources you have and pay off that 18 to 22% credit card
It's
debt.
good and bad, definitely. We hate to say use your home as a piggy bank, but this home is really the only place you can grab a chunk of money to pay off these high interest rates on the credit card. And by the way, I don't see, and no one's called us anyways, John. I heard they were going to drop the credit card interest rate for some folks out there. I haven't got that mailer, but again, I don't carry a balance. I'm fortunate enough at this point in my life. I'm not overspending. I don't need anything heavy duty. But yeah, we do come across things that we need. And again, don't use your house as a piggy bank. But if it's there, you got to get rid of the high interest rates.
Well, but you can use it as
A financial tool.
A financial tool, right? So yes, if you pull money out 35, 40 grand to pay off some credit cards, my next suggestion is, okay, we're saving you $700 a month. Why don't you take $350 of that each month and pay back down on the mortgage so that we get you back to the position you were in a little bit quicker? And it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to pull the money out and then just go blow it on golf and wherever, casinos, because now you have an extra $700 a month in your pocket.
Have your money work for you.
Yep, make your money work for you. Get that equity back a little bit quicker. Also put some money into savings for down the road, or for your emergency fund, or for your vacation fund, or whatever you want. Try to make sure that you're making smart decisions. And I can't say it enough. Make smart decisions with your money, and you should be prosperous.
No, communication's key in real estate. I got to get folks to stop clicking buttons, because a lot of times you're dealing with someone who's never really negotiated much. And it's nice to have a real estate license. A lot of you folks out there do. The numbers tell us that many don't even sell many homes. So you don't have these great negotiation
80-20.
skills. So it gets a little scary. Negotiations are definitely back, as roughly 50% of homes in Detroit proper and the surrounding areas, Redford, are selling a little bit below list price. And when we come back, we'll talk about some negotiation skills that are needed and things that you can negotiate, sellers' concessions. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, 248-539-9797. We'll be right back. Okay, we're in our last segment, of course, of the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. Be sure to call Capital Mortgage Funding all weekend long. You can email us also, so check it out. Give us a call, of course, at the office at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. And we take your calls 248-539-9797. Mark Ryan, he's on the On Deck Circle. He's got all sorts of Super Bowl stuff coming on. The do's and don'ts of Super Bowl parties, that sounds like fun stuff, so definitely keep it here on 97.1. Then you got Rieger and Mark Chapman. It's sports here all day on 97.1 The Ticket. Noel Heideman, great real estate agent, of course. We talk about negotiations, Noel, at Properties, Christie's International. And you're in the Birmingham office and all around Southeast Michigan. You'll drive anywhere. So I like to talk about negotiations because so often we get families on the phone. I'm like, oh, yeah, I use my cousin and this guy and the friend of this. I have never seen, literally met someone recently, and I'm trying to do a transaction to help them, where things were not handled properly. And I just think it's so important to stop clicking buttons. I mean, if that's your MO, and of course the younger generation's doing that, how do you know the person you're talking to is a great negotiator? And, you're paying them sort of to really get your back and cover your back. I think the experience goes a long way.
One word, relationships. Relationships in life are the key to everything, I think. And relationships in real estate with the people that we deal with go so far. I think that's such an underrated, valued thing that we have, or that I have at least, and I'm fortunate to have. But there's so many different things with real estate and what needs to be negotiated and who you're dealing with. Price, terms, financials, contingencies, inspections, inclusions, exclusions for contracts. So there's a lot that goes into it. So communication, not only with your client, but with the people that you deal with. I think it's vital. John, Kolb and I, right here next to me to my left, we've worked together for over 30 years. We know each other. We know each other, how we work, how we treat clients, and what needs to happen for a successful transaction. That is key.
Yeah, as you said, it is the relationship and it's a trust factor, and you're going to get consistent, accurate information. It's disseminating that accurate versus inaccurate information from strangers. You see it all the time. Now is the season. It's coming up to April 15th. There are so many scammers out there right now that want to take your money. And I'm going to tell everybody out there, public service announcement is this. The IRS does not make phone calls to tell you owe them money.
Right.
They send letters, and they send letters. Do not get fooled by anybody calling you saying that you owe money. There's a parking ticket scam going out there right now. Don't pay attention to crazy email, your text, anything like that. People just want to get in your pocket and take your money. Listen, I'll take calls on any subject. Call me and we'll figure out if it's a scam or if it's legitimate.
If you get fooled by the toll, the driving toll scam out there, we don't have road tolls here in Michigan. Right. Don't get fooled by the toll road scam that's going on out there.
You don't owe the money.
Right.
All right, let's go to our caller here. We got Mark calling in on a cell phone. Hey, Mark, good morning and welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I'm in a high interest rate on my auto vehicle, 15%.
Ouch.
Would it be adjustable to go to my bank and get a lower interest rate right now?
I mean, you can try.
I can, but at the same time, I feel like I'm already paying the principal. So therefore, it's if I borrow $10,000 to pay, even if I paid it off, I go pay the bank, they're going to charge me more.
Well, how much more time do you have on this auto loan?
I got 3 years.
I like the idea that you would call your bank.
Go to your bank and say, hey, I want a 3-year term, and see what the payment is on a monthly basis. If it's cheaper, then it makes sense.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But if I borrow $10,000 from the bank and I owe $10,000, won't the bank want some money? They're just not going to
very little
drop.
No, very little. A car loan's easy to transfer. You can always do that. Again, we're in the Motor City, my man. So you can take care of that by calling your bank, local credit union. And again, it's a simple phone call or walk into one of these establishments, bring your paperwork, show them your current note, what you're paying, and they're going to make you a better offer. Unless that's a very old vehicle and your credit's completely no good.
Yeah. It's all about saving money. If you could save money, it's worth the call or the walk-in.
And you're asking the right questions.
I bet you'll get 7 or 8%. I'll bet you'll cut that in half.
Yeah, you just got to ask the right people.
But how does it actually cut in half if you owe $10,000 and you borrow $10,000?
because of the interest rate. The higher the interest rate, the more the payment. So if you have a 15% interest rate on 10 grand and then you get a 7.5% interest rate, what's the difference? Half. This is brought to you by Capital Mortgage Auto Financing.
Yeah.
Mark, you're the man. What are you driving, brother? What are you driving? Mark, what are you driving? Give me some love.
Jeep Cherokee.
What year is it?
Actually, it's a 18.
Okay, well, look, that's a new enough vehicle where you're going to be able to go to the bank. Yeah, that's a more recent vehicle, and you can cut that in half.
It's worth way more than $10,000.
Yeah, you're going to be in good shape, man. Hey, call us back 15. And tell us you cut it in half. And the like as John Kolb said, not our mortgage division, John. We are a bank, though. Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. We get to sneak that in there. So that's why you call us to get some great information. And don't pay 15% on your auto loan. That's no good.
There's a light bulb over Harry's head right now. He's thinking about car loans now.
Yeah, I just, I think that's a great call. I think that if we can help him save money, I think 15% is an outrageous rate. There's obviously a reason for it. Okay, maybe he's repaired his credit enough to where he can walk in to his bank or credit union and get a $10,000 loan and save some money. It's just worth it. I mean, it's worth checking it out.
Okay, a couple things that are happened recently, and besides rates dropping over the last 12 months, again, homeowners who bought during the 7 and 8% peak over a year ago, plus maybe even 2 years ago, now is a great opportunity. It's not for everybody. We break it down for you. It's not one size fits all, but definitely an opportunity to maybe get into the sixes, John Kolb. That's definitely a good way to fly. And if you need to consolidate some debt, whoever we're talking to, we lay it out for you. I'm surprised, sure enough, went to go refinance a client, just paid off $50,000 in debt. Tom, I hope you're not listening down in Monroe. Oh, my Lord, his wife charged up another $50,000. I haven't seen that in a few years. It takes the breath away, that's for sure.
Yeah, we've come across that a couple different times. It's with strangers, it's with people we love, and it's, you know what, we got to just preach the truth and what is best for them and continue to give the good path of financial advice and go from there.
John, if we go ahead, if they have 3 credit cards that we're paying off, okay, a MasterCard, a Visa, and say department store. All they got to do is cut up 2 out of the 3, right? Don't spend on them. And then they keep the MasterCard or Visa open and they just limit their spending. They're going to save a heck of a lot of money over time. But you got to cut them up. You can't go ahead if we pay off $50,000 people out there. Yeah, we pay off less, but we also pay off more.
Close them and cut them up.
Yeah, okay, hide it in the back of the closet.
Yeah, I mean something. You can't go down that path. It's a pattern that we've seen over 36 years. It keeps repeating itself. And by the way, they wanted to blame the boomers for the highest credit card. No, millennials now have the highest credit card debt in history.
Well, and again, your utilization is so important. Hard for me to say that word, but if you keep it down to $1,000 on a $5,000 limit, that's going to help improve your credit score. If you're not paying a monthly, an annual fee that's going to knock you out of the woods, and you have a credit card that has a zero balance, that's going to help your credit score. And these are things that we preach all the time. What can you do to benefit yourself, improve your credit score, improve your overall financial success? There's so many different tools. It's about getting the right people on your team.
Yeah, I agree. And like Harvey just said it, your team. Keep your team in the rotation. Make sure you're reaching out and asking questions. I don't care if you check in with Harry, Harvey, myself, Noel, once every 3 months. It's keeping your team in the rotation on is there anything I should be doing with my mortgage right now? Yeah. And I get that question a lot. And you know what? Most of the time it's no. Stay where you're at. Anybody who I refinanced or did a purchase for between 2020 and 2023, no, stay where you're at. And because rates are better then than they are right now. And that's okay. We love to hear from you. We want to give you good advice and make sure we're putting you on the path to success.
And it doesn't cost anything.
Nope.
Don't give your credit card information out for advice.
Yeah, talk to your professionals.
Yeah, no, sure. I'll get you in because we're out of here at 57 here. So negotiation power, nearly 2/3 of the buyers in the past couple of years bought under the original list price. That's some good news out there. Talk about negotiations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's again, it's like with anything. If markets go up and go up and up and up, and everybody in the neighborhood thinks that, well, gosh, my house is worth 10% more than, whoever, Lisa and Joe's down the street, so it must be, true.
Well, it's because they have that heated garage.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, at some point, water finds its level, I think, and that's true in life. In real estate for sure. So You know what? It's a fantastic market out there. I would invite everybody to get in because prices are only going up. Values right now, February 7th, are better than they're going to be, April 7th, because more people are going to be in the market. And again, prices just go up. They're not going down.
In Michigan, when it warms up, prices go up.
Yep.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty, always fix that riding mower before you go out and spend $3,000 more. I got to tell you, we had a little power outage at our house. I was freaking out. Electricity went out last night. Boy, John, you mentioned it. If you can afford a generator, I don't want to promote generators today, but boy, get that generator for your house. It gives you a good peace of mind.
It's going to save you money and hassle down the road if you can afford it.
All right, be sure to call Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW rate. That's the best mortgage banker, 1-800-569-7283. Get that strong pre-approval letter. All right, for Noel Heideman, for John Kolb, Harry Glantz, I'm Harvey Freed. We'll see you next Saturday.